Okay, so if you know what you want to do, but you're not sure how to test it, well, that's just an important word to underline is test. You got to try these things in small little experiments. And I'll give a number of ways that you could do it that are really simple. The first thing that you can do to start experimenting is you just have a lot of conversations with people about it. Just talk about it, with friends, with colleagues. Just talk about that issue, that topic, that niche. Um, do people think there's a market there? What do you see? Here are my thoughts on it. Just start to have conversations because stuff will appear as you talk. One of the biggest, there's two places you're going to get stuck in niching. Number one is in here. Yeah, you're trying to think it through, perfect it, but you never try anything in the marketplace. The other place you can get stuck is you're doing a lot of stuff in the marketplace, but you're never reflecting on the results of it. Yeah, people say, I have 20 years of experience. No, you have 1 year of experience 20 times. Meaning you didn't learn anything beyond year one. You just stopped learning and you just kept repeating. So it's a bit of a dance between you test things and then you reflect on them. You try things, you think about it. And so one way you can start that testing is just talking about it. Second, you could do research calls. My colleague George Kao, who some of you know, he's got I think a product or a program about doing research calls that he's been working on. You can check him out at georgecow.com. I'm sure he's well familiar with him. But so you can look at having research conversations. So no money, they don't pay anything. You just ask people who are in the group that you want to help to talk so you can learn about their situation. You just ask them questions like, yeah, so what is it like, being in this situation? What are the breaking points for you? What was the hardest moment? What kind of help are you looking for? You're not pitching anything. There's nothing for sale. You're just researching. Number three, you can just start doing little workshops on Zoom or in your living room just for anybody, just to try it out, just to see how it feels. But if you put a workshop out on a very niche topic, it's going to get a much better response than just come listen to me talk about coaching. Number four, you could do a series of, you could say, I'm offering 10 coaching sessions, maybe at a discount, for this niche. I'm trying it out. I want to see if I like it, or 5, or however many you want, but a limited number of very, very niche focus offerings. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing some coaching for dads who've just been through a brutal divorce. And you put it out to your whatever kind of list you have or on social media, and you do those, and then you reflect on it afterwards, and you say, how did it go? How did that feel? Is this quite the right target market? Should I refine it? And you probably will realize you need some refinements. You'll say, oh, I don't want half of those people were in the wrong moment, or half of them, their worldviews really didn't align. Okay, so how would I filter better the next time so that everyone who signed up would have been a better fit? And that's never ending. I mean, you're just going to keep refining that over decades. And the marketplace will change. Marketplace will change. You'll change. So it never really stops. A niche is not something it's final and that's it. There's just plateaus. There's just periods of stability. And then the marketplace changes, you change, and they'll have to shift. So just enjoy the stability when you get it, Okay, Allison said, I think I'm hung up on overthinking and perfectionizing it. Right. How do we know when we have it, or is it an ongoing process? Yeah, it's an ongoing process. And the overthinking it is getting stuck in here, right? So we just have to get out of here. This is where crazy happens, right? We got to get out of our heads and just try something tiny, very small. It could also be number 5, just posting on social media, just starting to share about that topic to see how that feels and what kind of response you get. But pick something small. And if you want some parameters, I'll give you some parameters. pick a niche and come up with whatever experiment you do, but do it in the next 10 days, spending no more than 10 hours and no more than $100. So if you want to do a Facebook ad for it, go crazy. But you want to book a venue, great. But no more than $100 gets spent, no more than 10 hours, and then do it in 10 days. And you'll learn a lot by trying it. It's much better to take something very specific and try it and see if it worked rather than put out something very general, because you can't learn much from it. Hey, I'm another life coach. You got a workshop on coaching and how to make your life better. Come to my workshop. You're not going to learn anything about that from that. You might, but it's going to take you so long to hone down. It's better to just start with what's clear. This is one of the most important premises in niching. Start with what's clear. Are you clear about everything? No, but you don't need to be. When you drive at night, you can only see as far as your headlights go. And somehow you get the whole way there. You don't need to see the whole road in front of you. You just need to see what's the little bit in front of you. That's it. But if you don't move, if you don't start driving, you say, well, but I can't see very far. Right. It's because the headlights only go so far. You have to go, and then the headlights move. The headlights move with you. That pool of light is not locked there. It is attached to you. I can't see the sign. I can't read it. Right, because you're too far away. Keep walking. You'll see it. You get closer as you get closer. Clear as you get closer. Remember Tony Robbins once said, perfectionism is the lowest standard. It's not the highest standard. It's the lowest standard because it's impossible. Because you'll never achieve it. So you don't do anything. So then, it becomes an excuse for not doing anything, for inaction. Yeah, and the overthinking it again, it's because we're stuck in here. I remember there was a client I had who was in my mentorship program, and we were working on his niche, and at a certain point I said to him, you know what, I'm realizing is happening. The well is dry. We have gotten every bit of clarity we can from what you already know. We started with what's clear. We've worked with the available material. There's nothing left. I said, you have to leave now and go try a bunch of stuff. And then maybe we can circle back in a year or two. But you just have to go do stuff and see what feels good, because we have harvested every single grain of wheat from that field. There's nothing left. And there's a certain point where it's really diminishing returns to be in your head. It's like you got it all. You've got as clear as you're going to get. So then what you have to do is take that clarity, turn it into something, and put it out into the real world. And then you say, oh shit, no, not quite. The model I had, we've all had the conversations that we rehearsed in our heads. Like, I know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm not tell them this, I'm not tell them this. And if they say this, I'm going to say this. And then the conversation doesn't go exactly the way we planned. Maybe we come at them and they say, yeah, God, I am so sorry about that. I wasn't ready for you to apologize. I came in angry, waiting for a fight, and now you've apologized and you've derailed all the things I was going to say. Fuck you. Now I'm mad at you for apologizing. Yeah, you can, or, you go and you think they're going to just collapse under what you say, and then they fight back. This is not always a good map of the world. But also, one of the places I think people get stuck with niching is they think, oh, but niching means I have to change my URL, I have to change my website, I have to rebrand everything, I have to, no, don't do that. 10 coaching sessions on this topic. Yeah, I'm doing one weekend workshop or evening workshop on this topic. I'm doing one webinar on this topic. I'm hosting a series of conversations on this topic. I'm going to interview 10 people from my podcast on this topic. Whatever it is, you just start engaging conversations about that topic on your social media. And then you really will see. You learn very fast from the feedback. of who you resonate with, who you don't, what kind of work you want to do, what kind of work you don't want to do. And then you could try it again. So let's say you try 10 coach, or you do five, whatever. You do 5 coaching sessions and you reflect on them. And afterwards you realize, yeah, okay, I wanted to help. I wanted to work with moms who had a traumatic birth experience. Giving birth to a child was traumatic. I wanted to help them with the trauma of that. But I'm realizing that working with half of those moms were very closed-minded around spirituality. And to me, that's a big, important piece of this. So, okay, next time I do it, I got to put that in, that you need to be open to some sense of spirituality, right?